Welcome to The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. In this guide, I'm not talking to you like an expert. I'm talking to you like you are someone starting their first business ever, even if you're a kid. I will explain every idea in simple language, give real examples, tell small stories, and show you how you can use this method to create your own business, step by step. By the end of this video, you will think like a modern entrepreneur. Let's begin. Chapter 1. What is a startup? Let's imagine you are 10 years old and you want to start a lemonade stand. You don't know how many people will buy, what price they like, what flavor they prefer, where to place your table, whether they want cold or warm. Lemonade. This is exactly what a startup is. A new business full of uncertainty. A startup is a new idea. Something untested. Something nobody knows will work. Something where you must discover the answers. A startup is not just a small business. A small business follows known rules. A startup invents new ones. If you want to sell lemonade in a world where people never had lemonade before, congratulations, you are a startup. This book teaches you how to explore the unknown without wasting time or money. Chapter 2. Why most people fail. Let me tell you something funny but true. Most people fail because they assume they are right. They think, I already know what people want. I know how this business will work. I know what the perfect product is. But here's the truth. You don't know anything until you test it. Example, a kid decides to sell chocolate cookies at school. He spends a whole weekend baking 200 cookies. He proudly brings them to school. But students tell him, we don't like chocolate, we want vanilla cookies. He cries. Why? Not because students didn't like his idea, but because he never asked them first. That is how adults fail too. Startups fail because they commit too much, too early to an idea without checking what people actually want. The Lean Startup saves you from this pain. Chapter 3. The Lean Startup Mindset. Imagine you are playing a video game where you don't know the map. You cannot guess every step. You must try something, see what happens, and adjust. This is the Lean Startup mindset. Don't guess. Test, learn, adjust. Move forward. Repeat. Think like a scientist, not a dreamer. Instead of saying, I hope this works, you say, let's run an experiment to see if this works. This mindset is what separates successful entrepreneurs from people who give up early. Chapter 4. Validated Learning. Validated learning is the heart of the Lean Startup. Let me teach it like you're 8 years old. If you want to know whether people like your lemonade sweet or sour, you don't write a 20-page plan. You don't build a huge lemonade machine. You don't buy expensive lemons. You pour 2 small glasses, one sweet, one sour. Then ask your friends, which one do you like? Their answer is validated learning. But if you guess, I think everyone will like sour lemonade, that is not learning. That is guessing. Validated learning means you learn from real customer behavior, not from your imagination. Chapter 5. The Build, Measure, Learn Loop. 38 minutes to 51 minutes. Narration. This loop is the engine of the Lean Startup. Let me explain with a kid-friendly story. Imagine you're building a toy car. Step 1. Build, you create a simple version using Lego blocks. Step 2. Measure, you roll it on the floor. Does it move fast? Does it fall apart? Does it turn well? Step 3. Learn. You see what went wrong. Maybe the wheels are loose. Maybe the shape is too heavy. So what do? You rebuild. You test again. You learn again. This cycle repeats forever. The faster you go through this loop, the faster you improve your product. Now let's apply this to a real business example. Story example, the Little Pizza Startup. A kid wants to sell pizza slices. He doesn't buy a full pizza oven. Instead, he buys one small ready-made pizza, cuts it into slices, sells them at lunch. He watches which slices sell faster. Cheese, pepperoni, veggie. He measures the results. He learns cheese sells best. So next day, he only sells cheese. He just used the build, measure, learn loop. That is Lean Startup thinking. Chapter 6. Minimum Viable Product, MVP. The MVP is one of the most powerful ideas in business. Let's explain it as if you're very young. Imagine you want to build a giant water slide in your backyard. Instead of building the full slide, you first pour a little water on a plastic sheet and slide down. If it works and you enjoy it, then you upgrade it. If it doesn't work, you didn't waste money. That small plastic sheet is your MVP. MVP means the smallest version of your idea that teaches you the most. Real examples of MVPs to understand better. Example 1, the lemonade stand MVP. You don't build a fancy stand. You start with a small table, a paper sign, 2 lemonades, sweet and sour. You test which sells faster. Boom, MVP. Example 2, the cookie business MVP. Instead of making 200 cookies, you make 10 cookies and ask 10 classmates. Do you like this flavor? That's an MVP. Example 3, the school tutoring idea. Instead of creating a full tutoring class, you help one person with homework for free. If they like it, you offer paid sessions. That's an MVP. Example 4, Dropbox, MVP, real world. Dropbox didn't build the full cloud storage system. They made a 3-minute video showing how it would work. Thousands signed up. That video proved the idea. That video was the MVP. Chapter 7, Why MVP Works. The MVP works because it saves time, saves money, reduces risk, gives fast results, shows if your idea is good, helps you avoid big mistakes. If your MVP fails, that's good. It means you learned early. You didn't waste months building the wrong thing. Failure in a lean startup is not failure. Failure is data. Data helps you become better. Chapter 8, Innovation Accounting. This sounds like a big adult word, but don't worry. I'll explain very simply. Innovation accounting means measure the right things, not the fancy things, not the numbers that only look good. You measure the truth. Let's use a kid example. Example, YouTube channel. Kid. A kid makes a YouTube channel. He proudly says, I got 5,000 views, but views don't matter. Here's what matters. How many people watched the full video? How many subscribed? How many came back next week? How many liked or commented? Those numbers show real progress. Lean startup companies focus on real numbers, not shiny numbers. Chapter 9, The Pivot. A pivot is one of the most important ideas in business. Let me explain it like teaching a child. If you throw a paper airplane and it doesn't fly straight, do you keep throwing it the same way? No. You change the shape. You fold the wings differently. You adjust the nose. This adjustment is called a pivot. A pivot means you change direction while keeping the same goal. Real simple examples. Example 1, the lemonade kid. He wanted to sell lemonade, but kids at school prefer juice, so he pivots. He sells juice instead. Successful business. Example 2, Instagram. Pivot. Started as a complicated check-in app called Bourbon. People only used one feature, photo sharing. So they removed everything else. Pivoted to only photos. Became Instagram. Example 3, Twitter. Pivot. Started as a podcast platform called Odeo. Nobody liked it. Employees were using a small side tool to send short updates. That became Twitter. Pivoting saves startups. Chapter 10, Continuous Deployment. Traditional companies update their product once a year. Lean startups update every day. Why? Simple. Small changes equals small mistakes. Big changes equals big mistakes. If you post homework every day, you learn faster. You get feedback faster. This helps startups improve constantly. Example, a kid building a toy robot. Instead of building the whole robot at once, the kid adds, Day 1, wheels. Day 2, motor. Day 3, remote control. Every day he tests it. Every day he improves it. This is continuous improvement. Chapter 11, Lean Culture. A lean startup is not a tool, not a trick, not a formula. It is a culture, a way of thinking. A lean culture says, let's test instead of guess. Let's learn instead of assume. Let's move fast but in small steps. Let's listen to customers. Let's pivot when needed. Let's never stop improving. A lean team works like curious kids, always experimenting, always discovering, always trying new things. That is the beauty of lean startup thinking. Chapter 12, The Real Purpose of a Startup. Let's make something very clear. The purpose of a startup is not to build a product, to hire people, to raise money, to look successful. The purpose of a startup is simple. Learn how to build a sustainable business. Let me explain this with a kid-friendly example. Imagine you want to build a treehouse. The goal isn't the hammer. The goal isn't the wood. The goal isn't how fancy it looks. The real goal is, does it stay strong? Can you use it every day? A startup works the same way. If a business cannot survive, it doesn't matter how pretty the website is. It doesn't matter how big the office is. It doesn't matter how many people it hired. The lean startup teaches you how to build a business that lasts step by step by learning what works and removing what doesn't. Chapter 13, Leap of Faith. Assumptions. Every startup is built on a guess. Yes, a guess. Even billion-dollar companies started with guesses. These guesses are called leap of faith assumptions. There are two big assumptions. One, value hypothesis. Does the product really give value to people? Example, a kid thinks selling stickers will make people happy, but does it really? He must test it. Two, growth hypothesis. How will the product spread? Example, will kids tell their friends about the stickers? Will teachers allow selling? Will more students want to buy? These two guesses must be tested early. Let's break it into kid-level examples. Example, the pencil decoration startup. A kid wants to sell decorated pencils. He assumes, value hypothesis, kids like fancy pencils. Growth hypothesis, kids will show them to friends. Friends will buy. He tests this. Day 1 shows pencils to 10 students. Only 2 buy. But those 2 show their friends, and next day 5 more buy. Now he knows. Value hypothesis equals somewhat true. Growth hypothesis equals true. This is learning. Chapter 14, Running. Your first experiment. To run an experiment, you don't need science equipment. You need curiosity. Here's how to design a simple, lean startup experiment. Step 1. Ask a question. Will people buy my lemonade? Step 2. Create a simple test. Set up a small lemonade table. Step 3. Observe behavior. How many people stop? How many buy? What do they dislike? Step 4. Learn and adjust. If nobody buys, why? Is the taste wrong? Is the location bad? Is the price too high? Step 5. Try again. Adjust and test again. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. You try, you wobble, you adjust. You try again. That's how business works too. Chapter 15, The 5 Whys Technique. The 5 Whys is a simple but powerful method to find the real reason behind a problem. Like a curious kid, you keep asking why until you find the truth. Let's try an example. A kid's lemonade isn't selling. Why number 1, why aren't people buying? Because customers walk past without stopping. Why number 2, why don't they stop? Because the sign is too small. Why number 3, why is the sign too small? Because he didn't have big paper. Why number 4, why didn't he have big paper? Because he didn't plan ahead. Why number 5, why didn't he plan ahead? Because he rushed without preparing. The real problem isn't the lemonade. The real problem is bad planning. Lean Startup teaches you to fix the real cause, not the surface problem. Chapter 16, Split Testing, A/B Testing. Split testing is simple. You show 2 versions of your product to 2 groups of customers and see which one people like more. It's like when a kid asks, do you like my blue drawing or my red drawing? Whichever gets more votes is the winner. Real simple business. Example, a kid sells cupcakes. He makes cupcake, A, chocolate cupcake, B, vanilla. He sells both at lunchtime. Chocolate sells 20 pieces. Vanilla sells 5 pieces. Result, sell more chocolate, reduce vanilla. This is A/B testing. Companies like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube do this every day. Now you can use it too. Chapter 17, When to Pivot. Pivoting is not quitting. Pivoting is adjusting your path to succeed. Think of it like this. If your paper airplane keeps falling straight down, you don't stop playing. You fold it differently. That is a pivot. You should pivot when the data is bad. Customers don't like the product. People are not paying. You've tested many things and nothing improves. You feel stuck. A smart entrepreneur doesn't fall in love with their idea. They fall in love with the customer's problem. If your idea doesn't solve the problem, pivot. Real life example. You want to sell funny keychains, but nobody likes your designs. However, people love your hand-painted bookmarks. Pivot. Stop keychains. Sell bookmarks. You're still an artist, just solving a different need. Chapter 18. Persevere when not to pivot. Some people pivot too early. They try something for 3 days and say, "It didn't work, I quit." That's wrong. Sometimes you should continue, even if growth is slow. Here are signs you should continue and improve, not pivot. Customers like the idea but want improvement. People give positive feedback. You are learning something new every test. You see steady, small progress. You haven't tested enough versions. If your lemonade stand sells 5 cups today and 7 cups tomorrow, that's growth. Keep going. Improve the recipe, improve the sign, improve the marketing. Not every idea needs a pivot. Some just need patience. Chapter 19. Engines of Growth. A business grows in only 3 ways. Eric Ries calls these the engines of growth. I'll explain each one with simple examples. 1. Sticky growth. People love your product so much they keep coming back. Example, a kid sells amazing chocolate milk at lunch. Students buy it every day. That is sticky growth. 2. Viral growth people share the product with friends. Example, a kid makes cool bracelets. Friends wear them. Other kids ask, "Where did you get that?" So more kids buy. That is viral growth. 3. Paid growth. You spend money to get customers. Example, a kid prints posters saying, "Buy my cookies at lunch." He spends $5 printing posters and makes $15 in cookie sales. Paid growth works when you spend $1, you earn $3. Chapter 20. Small batches. Traditional companies work in big batches. They make 1,000 items at once. If there is a mistake, all 1,000 items have the mistake. Lean startup works in small batches. Make 5 items, test them, fix the problems, make 5 more. This saves time, money, and effort. Example, a kid making slime to sell at school. Instead of making 50 slimes, he makes 5. He tests which color sells, which texture people like, what size is best. Then he scales the best version. Small batches equals smarter business. Chapter 21, The Danger of Vanity Metrics. Vanity metrics are numbers that make you feel good, but don't help your business. Examples, my video got 10,000 views. My app got 2,000 downloads. These numbers do not show if your business is succeeding. Lean startup companies focus on retention, engagement, payments, referrals. Repeat users. These are called actionable metrics. Example, if a kid gets 50 views on a video but 30 new subscribers, that is real success. If he gets 10,000 views and 2 subscribers, that is vanity. Always chase real progress. Chapter 22, Cohort Analysis. This sounds like a complex topic, but don't worry, I'll simplify it. Cohort analysis means compare groups of customers based on when they joined. Example, a kid sells stickers. Group A bought stickers last week. Group B bought stickers this week. If Group B buys more than Group A, it shows your product is improving. It's like comparing 2 classes in school. Class 1 scored 70%. Class 2 scored 85%. You can see improvement. Startups do this to check if new updates are making customers happier. Chapter 23, Sustainable Growth. Many businesses grow fast but die fast. Sustainable growth means growth that continues over time. A business grows sustainably when customers stay, customers tell friends, revenue grows, costs stay manageable, feedback loop stays strong. It's like watering a plant. The plant grows slowly, but keeps growing forever. Quick growth without roots dies fast. Lean startup builds strong roots. Chapter 24. Lean thinking for large companies. You might think lean startup is only for new businesses, but big companies use it too. Why? Because even huge companies don't know what customers want next. Examples: Toyota, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft. They all use lean startup methods to test new features quickly. Amazon tests thousands of small experiments each year. Lean thinking works for kids, small startups, and billion-dollar companies. Chapter 25, How You Can Start Today. Let me guide you step by step as if you are starting your first business today. Step 1, think of a simple idea, something that solves a problem. Step 2, make a tiny version, MVP. Simple, cheap, fast. Step 3, test it with real people. Get reactions, ask questions, observe. Step 4, improve it. Make it better based on feedback. Step 5, track real numbers. Don't chase likes, track customers. Step 6, pivot if needed, change direction if results are bad. Step 7, repeat the build, measure, learn. Loop. Do this every day, and you will grow, improve, and succeed. Final summary. Clear, slow, professional, but friendly. Let's wrap everything together in a powerful, deeper, more complete summary of the lean startup. Think of this as the part where all the lessons we discussed finally connect, like pieces of a puzzle forming a clear picture. If you listen closely to this summary, you will understand exactly how modern businesses grow, and exactly how you, yes, you, can start your own business, even if you feel like you know nothing right now. Let's begin. 1. A startup is an experiment, not a perfect plan. A startup is not a company with a perfect product. It's not a fully designed idea. It's not something that is complete on day one. A startup is actually an experiment. Think of a startup the same way you think of a science classroom experiment. You have a hypothesis, a guess, about how something will work. You run some tests fail, some succeed. You learn from every single one. In science, failing an experiment is normal. In startups, failing early is good. That's because failure tells you what doesn't work. And learning that is priceless. Startups are not about being right. Startups are about discovering what is right. 2, learning. Quickly is more important than building quickly. Most people think startups must move fast, but that's not fully correct. Yes, speed is important, but the real advantage is learning fast. Because if you learn slowly, you will spend months going in the wrong direction. And by the time you realize it, you've wasted money, time, and energy. But if you learn fast, you correct mistakes earlier. You discover customer needs earlier. You change strategy earlier. You create a better product earlier. Learning fast saves you from years of pain. It's like walking in a dark room with a flashlight. Without the flashlight, you might walk for hours and bump into furniture. With the flashlight, you see the path instantly. Lean startup is your flashlight. 3. Small steps beat big jumps. Most beginners think success requires one big move, one big launch, one big product, one big marketing campaign. But the lean startup teaches the opposite. Small steps win, big steps fail. Why? Because big steps are made on assumptions. Small steps are based on real learning. Imagine trying to jump across a river in one big leap. You might fall in. But if you place stepping stones one at a time, you cross safely. Lean startup is about building your business one safe stepping stone at a time. 4. MVP, the power of the first tiny test. The MVP, or minimum viable product, is the first stepping stone. It's not the full product. It's not the best product. It's not the perfect version. It is the simplest version that allows you to learn something important. Think of it like this. If you want to build a restaurant, your MVP is not building the whole restaurant. Your MVP could be selling one dish from a small table, delivering food to friends, posting pictures to see reactions, doing a small taste test event. Your MVP answers the question, is this worth continuing? The MVP protects you from wasting years of effort. 5. Build, measure, learn the heartbeat of innovation. This is not just a process. This is the heartbeat of every successful business in the world. Build something tiny. Measure how people react. Learn whether to improve or change direction. This loop keeps the business alive. Each cycle makes the product better. Each cycle makes the entrepreneur smarter. It's like practicing a sport. Every day you train a little. Every day you get faster, stronger, better. There is no perfect day. There is only consistent improvement. That is how real businesses grow, slowly, steadily, intelligently. 6. Pivot, changing direction. Without starting over. A pivot is one of the most beautiful ideas in lean startup. Many people think changing direction means failure. No. Changing direction means maturity. It means you listened to the truth. It means you are brave enough to adjust. Think of a pivot like steering a bicycle. You're still going to the same destination, but you take a better path. Every successful company in the world has pivoted. Instagram pivoted, YouTube pivoted, Twitter pivoted, Airbnb pivoted, Slack pivoted. They didn't fail. They learned and they pivoted. A pivot means I discovered a better way. It is a sign of intelligence, not weakness. 7. Measure what matters. Ignore the fake numbers. Success is not about likes, not about views, not about downloads, not about followers. Those are vanity metrics. They look good but change nothing. Real business success is measured by how many customers return, how many customers pay, how many customers recommend, how fast the product improves, how efficiently money is used. These are the numbers that show if you're building a real business, not just a shiny project. Lean Startup teaches you to ignore the applause and focus on the truth. 8. Continuous improvement, the secret of all great companies. Amazon didn't become Amazon by doing one big thing. They became Amazon by improving every single day. Google didn't grow with one feature. They grew by constantly adjusting. Lean Startup teaches you that there is no final version. There is no perfect product. There is only version 1, version 2, version 3, version 500, version 10,000. Each version is a small improvement. Each version brings you closer to excellence. Success comes from thousands of small steps, not one giant leap. 9. Stay curious. Think like a kid. This is my favorite lesson. The Lean Startup method works best when you think with the curious mind of a child. Children, ask why, ask what if. Ask how does this work? Try new things. Don't hide their mistakes. Don't fear looking silly. Don't quit easily. Learn fast. Experiment constantly. Adults often lose this spark. But entrepreneurs who win are the ones who keep their curiosity alive. Think like a kid. Test like a scientist. Work like a professional. Improve like an athlete. And you will build something great. 10. The real magic. Ideas are nothing. Learning is everything. In the end, Lean Startup teaches a final powerful truth. Ideas are easy. Execution is hard. Learning is everything. Anyone can dream. Few people test. Even fewer learn. And only the brave ones keep improving. But once you follow this method, you become unstoppable. You will know how to start small, test early, learn fast, pivot smartly, measure what matters, ignore vanity, improve endlessly. This is how ideas transform into real businesses. This is how ordinary beginners grow into entrepreneurs. This is how you go from zero to hero as we conclude this comprehensive guide to the Lean Startup. Let's take a step back and view the entire framework the way a business leader would. Every concept we've explored, validated learning, MVPs, the build, measure, learn cycle, innovation accounting, pivots, small batch testing, and continuous improvement comes together to form a discipline, a methodology, a way of thinking that goes beyond startups and applies to every part of modern business. The Lean Startup is not just for founders. It is for anyone responsible for creating value inside a changing world. Whether you're leading a new product, launching a service, building a team, or managing a company division, the principles remain the same. Start with the customer, not assumptions. Let data guide decisions, not ego. Invest in learning before investing in scaling. Measure what truly drives progress. Adapt quickly and efficiently. Build organizations that learn faster than their competitors. In today's landscape, uncertainty is the default. Markets shift overnight. Customer expectations evolve rapidly. Technology disrupts industries in months, not decades. The organizations that survive and thrive are not the ones with the most resources. They are the ones with the best systems for learning. The lean startup provides that system. When implemented with discipline, it minimizes waste, reduces risk, and accelerates innovation. It creates teams that are aligned, focused, and customer-obsessed. It replaces guesswork with clarity and replaces chaos with direction. So as you leave this session, carry these principles with you. Operate with humility, test boldly, learn continuously, improve relentlessly, lead with data, and always stay close to the customer. Because in business, the advantage no longer belongs to the biggest company. It belongs to the company that learns the fastest. Once again, thank you for joining this extended professional deep dive into the lean startup. If you found value in this detailed guide, I invite you to continue exploring the world's most powerful business books with us, one complete breakdown at a time. Your journey from zero to mastery has only just begun.